Brother Jack. You're watching Lights Out TV.
This is Lights Out. I'm Faisal Khan. We're here at the Hopper Ring Amateur Boxing Club, and I'm joined by K Prosper. K, how you doing today? You alright?
I'm really good, yeah. Awesome.
Excellent. How's life going? How's life treating you? How's training camp going?
Yeah, life's really well. Life's going really well, so I really can't complain. Everything's going smooth. Training's going well for my upcoming fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, good luck.
Big fight coming up in a couple of weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I've got like 5-6 weeks, and big fight against Cassius Connor.
Yeah.
English title eliminator. So yeah, we're just trying to push on and get these titles now.
Yeah. How excited are you for the fight, especially fighting out in Tottenham as well?
Yeah, I'm buzzing for it. I know Danny's going to bring a good game plan. He's going to try and do what he's got to do, but fighting at a new venue.
Yeah.
We box at York Hall, box at O2, but I'm actually looking forward to boxing at a new venue. It's going to be a new situation, and this fight is just going to allow me to push on. So yeah, I'm buzzing for it.
Potential chance of getting near the lightweight English title.
Yes.
How much, how much wonders would that do for your career if you can manage to get that belt around your strap?
Oh, it's going to do so much good things for my career. It's going to allow me to just open a few more doors, give me a bit more exposure, the respect that I think I deserve. People are going to start to stand up and count me as one of the contenders in the super lightweight division in Britain, and hopefully from that I'll get some big fights on TV.
Talk to me a bit about your career. What brought you here to Hopper Ring Amateur Boxing Club? What age was it that you realised you wanted to become a boxer?
Yeah, so basically my situation was when I was younger. Like most kids, I like to play a lot of football. Boxing really wasn't my passion. Dabbled a little bit when I was young, like when I was like 13, 14, and stepped away from the sport. And then basically my cousin Paul Webb, he wanted to start the gym, and then he wanted me to help him set it up. This was when I was around 19.
Yeah.
So we was just around the corner in the Hopper Ring Community Centre. So basically, me and my cousin set up the gym just to help out the kids in the community, and you know what I mean, just using the sport to channel their energies and their aggression. So I was coaching for about a year or two, and then basically I just thought to myself, oh yeah, let me see what it's like to actually be in the ring. So I thought I'm going to train for a fight, and then basically train for the fight. This is when I was 21, had my first fight, won by stoppage.
This is your amateur career, right?
This is my amateur, yeah. So, and then it was like, wow, this is really for me. I really enjoyed it, and then just snowballed. I only really wanted to have one fight, just so I could say to the boxers, I know what it feels like to be in the ring. Yeah. But then once I had that first taste of it, I stopped playing football and I just focused solely on boxing. Yeah.
You had your first pro fight at 29 years age.
Yes.
Why did you start so late in your career, if you don't mind me asking, especially at the professional side of boxing?
Yeah, so obviously I only had my first fight at 21, my first amateur fight. I didn't start training until I was like 20. Yeah. So then obviously my amateur career was going well. I had about something like 30 fights, won 24, 25 fights, something like that. Got to the finals of one under-20s intermediate amateur ABAs. Got to the final of the Haringey Box Cup, and a lot of people were telling me my style would suit the pros more. Okay. And I thought to myself, well, the progression is for me to turn pro. I was doing well as an amateur, but I really wanted to test myself in the pros. Yeah. And obviously, even though I didn't go on to win any major honours as an amateur, everyone always knew that I could box. So then I thought to myself, well, let's try see what I can do as a pro. Yeah. And yeah, it just really kicked on from there, really.
You know what, so obviously you've been fighting professionally since 2013. Yeah. That's quite a few years in the game now. What's boxing taught you? You know, what's it taught you inside the ring and outside the ring?
Obviously, inside the ring, one of the main things I think you just gotta don't rush and take your time. Even if you've only got 4 rounds, if you go all out then and you give everything you got in the first round, sometimes that can be detriment. So I think the main thing that I work myself through my fights, through my one loss, is that you've got to take your time, especially when now I'm fighting in more 10 and 12 rounders. You don't have to win the round. You don't have to win the fight in the first round. So I think that's what I learned inside the ring. Outside the ring, I think it's just stay humble and to really just dedicate yourself to the things that you love, really. Yeah. And I think that's the only way you can get the most out of yourself. So it's just about being committed. And sometimes you want to do something, but you're not committed to it. You're not going to fulfill your potential.
You mentioned that one defeat you've had in your career. Obviously, you know, a defeat in boxing can be a huge, major setback. Yeah. What did you learn from the defeat, and how did you manage to deal with it and come back strong?
Yeah, well, honestly, I think it's a shame the way people put so much emphasis on one loss. It's almost like in every other sport you lose, and people see it as something that that's actually maybe been an advantage to you because you learned maybe where you've gone wrong. But in boxing, as soon as someone has a loss, it's almost like they write them off and they drop right down the pecking order, and they're seen as being an average fighter because they might have lost a fight to someone who's not great. But me personally, I think that loss was a blessing in disguise. I learned so much about myself, about my team. After that, I changed my team, and I'm now with a new team, IQ Boxing, and things have gone from strength to strength. And I learned about how to conduct myself in the ring, and prior to fights, all these kind of things wouldn't have been highlighted if I didn't take that loss. I would have just carried on doing what I was doing, making weight in the wrong way, cutting through corners where things are so vital, and just building a team around me that's going to be able to push me to the next level.
Yeah. Obviously, we've spoken about the Cassius Conor fight. Obviously you're a super lightweight. What do you make of the landscape of the super lightweight division? Right now, you've got some top fighters. You've got the world champions. That's Maurice Hooker, who just beat Terry Flanagan a couple of months ago. You got Jose Carlos Ramirez, Kirill Relic, and Regis Progress. What do you make of the super lightweight division at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think Terence Crawford is my man. He's obviously stepped out of the division. So
he's gone up to 147 now.
He's gone up to 147 now, so he's going to be fighting. He just announced a fight, but I'm not sure who the guy is. He's not really a well-known fighter, but apparently he's supposed to be a grudge match. You've got Mickey Garcia, who's a lightweight, who's going to push through that division. So these are great fighters, but in the division itself, super lightweight, you got some really good fighters, and you also got some really good prospects. I really like English fighters, Josh Taylor. Jack Catchell, who's fighting O'Hara Davis.
Big fight that is in October.
That's a really good fight. Obviously, you got Glenn Foot fighting Josh Lever for the British title. Like that level there, I almost feel like I'm kind of ready to be tested at that level. And the level above that, the likes of Maurice Hooker and Josh Taylor, I think they're the top level. He's fighting in WSB. That's my aspiration, to get to that level and try and compete at that level. So all I can do is just keep winning my fights and just start knocking on the door and start to be in the mix.
We mentioned the super lightweight division, and then obviously you bought Mikey Garcia, who's in the lightweight division. You've also got Jose Pedraza, and of course Vasyl Lomachenko, who there's a massive fuss about. I mean, you're 34 years old now. Potentially, what is it that you want to achieve, and is it for you? Would you like to perhaps maybe get in the ring one day with them type of fighters?
I think that's what it is. I think I'm a person. I'm quite what's the word? Not genuine, but realistic. I mean, I'm realistic. I'm not a young kid. I'm not going to be able to take my time and try and develop myself in this kind of situation. So for me, if I can knock off the English and then fight for a Commonwealth British title and win that, as soon as an opportunity, if it did arise, to fight one of these top names, I would take it with both hands. Not to say, I'm going to go out there and I'm very confident I'll win. But you know what? If I can just say that I boxed against these kind of caliber fighters, I think I've overachieved in the sport, starting so late, and just really, not having the greatest pedigree as a junior. So that would be a massive achievement for me to fight in that kind of situation.
I look at Vasyl Lomachenko and I think, what a special fighter. And he's only had, I think it's 13 professional fights. Freeweight world champion already. He was over 397 amateur fights. What have you made of Vasyl Lomachenko? Watching him, how much does he excite you?
He's excited me from day one. When I was an amateur, he was doing stuff in the Olympics, and obviously watching his videos, watching his fight, trying to copy the things he's doing. He's coming to the pros. He's obviously took on big steps early in his career, so he showed he's got so much belief in himself. Obviously, he lost his fight against.
He lost his third fight when he fought for the world title.
I forget the guy's name off the top of my head. I forget his name. He lost that fight, but obviously that was silly. The guy coming super overweight. He shouldn't have really had the fight on that day. But obviously that's what I think it takes to be great. I think you've got to take these challenges, and I think as much as we all know he's got amazing skills, he needs now just to get their marquee names on his belt. He should be fighting the Garcia. Why is Garcia going up 2 weights when them two are in the same weight?
I think Garcia's looking at Aerospace Jr. thinking a big payday and plus a chance to become the welterweight champion, but obviously Aerospace Jr. is where he is. You know, it's been a long time since we've had a good fighter from Luton. We were fortunate enough to have Billy Schwer.
Massive name.
How important is it for you, for your career, that you represent Luton and then you have a successful career? And also, have you ever thought about fighting Gardner at Kenilworth Road, selling out Kenilworth Road one night? Is that something that you've always thought about?
I'd say Luton has always been a hub of boxing. Obviously, we had Billy Schreier, then we had Graham L. Then we've got other local fighters that are coming through now, like Michael Devine. So I think the boxing family in Luton, it's always it's been strong. So I think you always need someone to represent the town and also to give back to the community. And other young kids that are coming through can look and aspire to be like the people that are maybe up there doing their thing. I would say like we've tried to. My manager Steve Goodwin at Goodwin Promotions, we've always talked about trying to put a show on Kenilworth Road, because now we've got myself, Michael Devine, Linus Gofia, other fighters that fight for different promotions, Alex Bishop and stuff like that. There's a good crop of fighters in Luton now. If we could all merge together, we could put on a massive show at Luton. Push some fighting for, say I was one of English, push some for British, some other people come up to southern areas. I think it would sell out. I think it'd be a massive spectacle, and I think it'd be good for the town.
As well, I'm going to test a bit of your boxing knowledge. You know, I have a debate with my mates all the time. Simple question for you: who would you regard as the pound-for-pound king in boxing right now?
Right now? Well, like I said, my man's Terence Crawford. My man's Terence Crawford. I think pushing through the weights. I think the way he's dealing with people that he should be struggling with. I think that he's my number one. Mainly because I like his style, I like his personality as well as what he does in the ring. Second after that, I would have to say it's a tie between either Mickey Garcia or Lomachenko. I think Mickey Garcia, I think he's improved a little bit more with the people he's been fighting. I think Lomachenko needs to get a few more names, and I think he can push on and be the best as well.
Just get your thoughts on a potential fight that might happen in America, actually, November, December. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. I've been very fortunate enough to meet Tyson Fury. I've interviewed him. I know what type of character he is. He's also a great fighter. Deontay Wilder is the type of fighter that's in there literally to the last second of the fight. Predictions for the fight, what do you think happens?
First of all, like I said, Tyson Fury, I used to underestimate him, but then he showed me what kind of character, what kind of boxer he is when he went and done what he done against Klitschko's. So I would never write him off fully, but I just think at this point in time, he's not fully ready for that level of opponent. Like, I think he needs a couple, at least one more, a hard fight where he gets his body punched and he gets himself out of breath and he's tired and he's got to dig through, because that's what the fight's going to be like. I think you can only get used to that by doing it in the ring. You can't do it in sparring, you can't do it in the gym. So I think for him to win that fight, he needs to maybe pull it back, push it back a bit later, have one more fight, like a good tune-up fight, and then he can win the fight. But I think if they fight in November, I've got to hand it to Wilder's going to take the win. So
obviously you're saying what a lot of other people are saying, that maybe another 1-2 more fights before the Wilder
I think
fight.
to be fair, I think people how can they begrudge him that? The things he's been doing, living a life with Riley, taking drugs and doing whatever he's doing, suffering depression. I know he probably thinks he's ready, but I think you're not ready until you actually prove it to yourself.
There's another fight obviously in that division, Anthony Joshua.
Cash
fights Povetkin in a couple of weeks' time.
22nd.
I just want to get your thoughts. Obviously, you're a professional boxer. You know what the promotion side of boxing is like. You know how it works. Why do you think the Anthony Joshua Deontay Wilder fight hasn't happened yet?
I think obviously it's all politics. I think people are being greedy. I think people are trying to get it heavily weighed in their favour, so that if it goes to the judges, they're going to get the win. Because I think Eddie Hearn does not want to lose Anthony Joshua as the supreme king of boxing. So I think it was down to Eddie. I think the way that Tyson Fury and Wilder are in communication and the fight looks like it's going to get made, even if it's not November, I just think I would actually put the burden on, or the worst part of it on Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua's camp, if I was being honest.
Do you think that Eddie Hearn doesn't want the fight, or do you think it's down to the fact that maybe it's not because he's going to have too much control, or because he doesn't want to take the risk of taking Anthony Joshua to America, or perhaps he will get him to fight? Don't know. That's what you think?
Yeah, I think it's all the above. I think he wants it here. He wants a lion's share of the money. He wants it to be on his networks. He wants to have his not maybe his judges, but he wants to make sure that he's got all the things in place so that he's stacked heavily in his favour. Because Anthony Joshua is obviously doing amazing things, and I don't think he wants to let it slip through his fingers.
Well, I want to ask you, where are you in the middle of this? Do you agree with boxers should give the fans what they want, or boxers should do what's best for them? What's your take on that?
As far as who you fight and where you fight and stuff like that? I would say it's an entertainment business, but at the end of the day it's still a business. If you a shrewd businessman is not gonna make silly business moves. He's not going to take fights or do things that's not going to be good for his business. As far as, oh yeah, let's make this thing that's worth £10, let's make it for 10p for a year, and just, you're not going to make sense. So I just think, as a business, they've got, well, as a person, you've got bills to pay, you've got kids to feed, you're trying to make money. I'm in there putting my life on the line, so I have got to make the match one as I can out of the situation. People got to understand that. On the spin side of it, you need to be entertaining, you need to give the fans the fights they want to see. And people will look at fights and they'll say, like, that's a mismatch, why are you doing that? But if they think, right, that's a good fight, like I said about me and Danny Connors ain't got a great record. He's had he's
an experienced fighter.
He's an experienced fighter. He's boxed at a higher caliber than me. He's got better names on his record than me. I've still got to prove that I'm better than him. Even though people might say K's this and that, I've still got to prove it. So I think on my ladder of getting to the top, he's a good fight for me at this point in time. If I fought someone who had 20 losses and 2 fights at this and 2 wins at this point, people ain't going to see that as a valid fight. So I think people need to balance it as far as get the best that they can out of it, because it's a dangerous sport and you ain't in it for long. But in order to get the fans what they want, so they keep selling tickets and they get what they deserve, you've got to be in meaningful fights.
We're not far off from the anticipated rematch, Canelo Golovkin.
Yes.
First fight was a draw.
Yes.
What happens this time round? Who do you think comes out on top?
Well, I think Canelo. I think Triple G won the first fight. It was definitely close. There was no one, and it wasn't a landslide. But I personally would have just tipped Triple G for the win. And fair enough, people think it's a draw. I don't think they really could give it to Canelo. And I just think the next fight, with all the stuff that's going on with Canelo taking drugs and Triple G knowing that he can't go in there and just win the fight, he's really got to put on a show. I think that Triple G's going to come and he's going to have the edge over Canelo. But Canelo's got something to prove. He's got a lot to prove. People are writing him off to say that he's a cheat. I mean, it's a big thing. So I think he is definitely going to step up to the mark. But I just think, all in all, I think Triple G's going to edge it. I don't think it'll be a stoppage, because I think Canelo is that good. He's not going to get caught with anything that heavy. But if I was a betting man, I would go for Triple G for a points win.
I want to get your thoughts on Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, where is he? Where is he?
That's exactly what I mean. Like, you know, there's rumours are that he generated more money out of his last 2 fights in that World Boxing Super Series tournament than he did in his whole career.
Really?
Obviously, you know, it's what we've read online. You know, there's no proof that it's true. Then obviously there was a huge expectation of him to beat George Groves, and it wasn't in my mind a close fight. I thought George Groves won it comfortably.
Definitely.
First of all, where do you think Chris Eubank Jr. is right now with his career, and do you think perhaps maybe staying away from his father might be the best move for him? Yeah,
I think you hit it on a nail there. I think he might have realised, and the people, I think it's all down to him. People around him haven't been advising him the right way. They're letting someone who's not a novice in the sport, but he's not a Lomachenko or Merva, where these people, they know the game inside out. He doesn't know, and he's been allowed to do his own thing. And I think now he's kind of took back and said, you know what, I actually need someone who's actually going to teach me and is actually going to mould me into the fighter and the person that I need to be. And I think maybe, I hope so, and that's what he's doing. I think maybe he's took a step back and he's going to make the right moves, get the right people in place. You can't be a fighter at a level and think that you can just have no information from the corner, or have one corner telling you one thing, your dad telling you another thing. He's a very talented fighter, but I don't think he's a great boxer. I think it's George Groves and Billy Joe Saunders both highlighted that he doesn't really have the fundamentals in boxing. He didn't throw a jab against George. He didn't know how to use his feet against Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe just kept stepping back, he kept missing him. Yeah, he comes in strong, he is fit, and he's got loads of talent. But if you haven't got the fundamentals in boxing, none about your range, none about timing, none about throwing feints and making sure you're in the right spots at the right time, it's going to be hard for yourself, and I think you need to learn that.
It's really frustrating because when you look at Eubank Jr., you know there's a talented fighter in there.
So talented.
You know, he's shown it in some of his fights, but you know, when you've got a trainer like Ronnie Davis in your corner and you're just ignoring the advice, you know, as a fighter, what do you think the right move for Chris Eubank Jr. would be right now? Because there's been a couple of rumours that he might actually even go over with Matchroom, with Eddie Hearn. We all know that he doesn't get on with Frank Warren. If you was in Chris Eubank Jr.'s shoes right now, what would you do to change, you know, to get yourself back to the top of that middleweight? What would you be looking to do?
It's hard, isn't it? Because it depends where he's at in his own head. But I've seen some videos of him, he's in the Mayweather camp and he's doing bits over there. But it still just seems like it's all for show. I think he needs to go to he needs to shop around at different trainers,
Yeah.
people that ain't gonna take nothing from him in a bad way, and just really just iron out all his defects. And someone who really listens to, and someone who's so. If I was gonna throw a name out there, like I've always liked Adam Booth. I think Adam Booth's a really good coach.
Yeah.
I think he's a really good coach. I think he's able to use people's flair, but he also is to make sure that they're ironed out technically, so they're doing the right things in the right places, and they're not just landing on the ropes or not just loading up on shots. So if I say he should maybe, if he's going to stay in England, train with Adam Booth, and yeah, just dedicate yourself to the sport of boxing really.
One final question. When I interview you next year,
Yes.
where are you going to be in your career?
Well, if it's this time next year, I would have won the English. I would have fought for another title by that time, whether it be the Commonwealth, British, or the WB European, which is also on the horizon. And so I will be sitting here with you now with 2 belts over my shoulders. Yeah, what's his face? Yeah, motto was that if I get the opportunities, I'll take them with both hands. This training camp's been amazing. I've been sparring with Luke Campbell.
How's that been?
It's been awesome. Like he's our distinguished, qualified, well-level 12-round fighter. Like I'm in the gym with me and another guy, and he's doing 12 straight. I'm only doing 6, and the 6 that I'm doing is some of the hardest 6 rounds that I've ever done. So he's at a high level, and I'm in there and I'm mixing it with him, and I'm giving as good as I'm getting. Yeah, he's a weight below me, but our weights ain't that far off. So every time I'm sparring him again. I'm learning things all the time, and I'm knowing how to make the most of my own attributes. Next week I've got Josh Taylor. He's getting ready for his fight with Ryan D. Martin. So when he starts sparring, I'm just going to be so ready for his fight, and I'm going to put on my last fight was my best fight. This is going to be better again. So check it out.
Alright, excellent. Well, listen, you're a local lad, so you've got all of our support. I really hope all goes well in October. And when I do come back here, hopefully I'll see you before next event. When I do come back here with this camera, I expect to see 2 shiny straps over your shoulders.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey Prosper, thank you very much for talking to Lights Out.
Respect, man. Appreciate it so much.
No problem.